Alright, so for these next examples, for 5, 6, and the monitoring progress, we're going to be doing something very similar to the problems we did before. But now we don't have radicals, now we have them in the forms of exponents. But you're going to see that these work exactly the same way as before. So like before, we're going to make sure that x is by itself. I want to subtract this 2. And so we get that 2 times x to the power of 3/4. So 3/4, let me zoom in, there we go, 3/4 has to be equal to 10 minus 2, that is 8. And then now I need to get rid of this power of 3/4. So if I want to do that, I'm going to have to raise everything to the power of the reciprocal 4/3, which means that I have to take this 8 and I also have to raise it to the 4/3 power. So 3 times 4 divided by 4 times 3 is 1, right? So 3, 3, 1, 1, that is just 1. So we are left with 2x by itself. And then this is equal to 8 to the 4/3 power. And this is in last section, so we can now use a calculator to solve something like this. 8 to the power of a fraction, which is going to be 4/3. That should give us 16. So 2x is equal to 16. This tells me that x needs to be 8. Alright, then we move on to the next one. Let me make sure we have everything in order here. Yep. Alright, and then actually before we go on to the next one, I forgot, we gotta check that this is true. So we have 2 times the x which we just found, which is 8, and then we're sending that to the power of 3/4, and then we are adding 2. And so if this result is 10, that means that this should be the actual solution. Let's see. It is 10. That tells me that we got the correct solution. This is not extraneous. And we continue. So number 6 works the same way. We have x plus 30 to the 1/2 power is equal to x. And this right here, remember, is just the same way as writing the square root of x plus 30. So what we're going to do is, just like with the square root, we want to take everything to the 2nd power on both sides. And so we get that this 2 and this 2 cancel. We have x plus 30 to the 1st power is equal to x squared. And if I send everything to one side, I'm going to get that 0 is actually equal to x squared minus x minus 30. And we got to remember, once we factor this, I'll continue over here, we get that 0 is x minus 6 times x plus 5, which tells me that I have 2 possible solutions. X is equal to -5 or 6. But we do not know if these are solutions just yet. Let's verify them. So let's try out -5 first. We'll do -5 plus 30. And then that, let me turn on this light. There we go, a little bit better. -5 to the 30 sent to the power of 1/2. If -5 is a solution, this should equal to -5. So it equals to +5. So we are off by a sign. Therefore, we're going to be able to say that x minus 5 is extraneous. So this cannot be my solution. And now let's try 6. There we go. So 6. No, sorry, 2. Yeah, 6 plus 30. And then that's to the 1/2 power. Plus 2. If that gives me 10, then we are on the right spot. Oh, sorry, not 10. 8. And actually, oops, I think I typed it in wrong. Let me do this again. Sorry. So we'll do, what answer did we find? We found out that it was 6. So yeah, we're gonna do 6 plus 30. Raise that to the 1/2 power. And then that should be equal to 6. So I added 2 because I was looking at this top one by mistake. So sorry about that. But this should be 6. It is 6. So this tells me that we only have one answer. And it has to be this one. And so for our monitoring progress examples, these will be pretty much the same thing. So I'll do them in a relatively faster pace. Let me position this. There we go. So we're going to do 8, 9, and 10. Let's see what that tells us. If I want to get rid of that 1/3 as a power, I have to take all of this to the 3rd power. Because a 1/3 is the same thing as a cube root. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. So evaluating this gives me 3x is equal to -3 to the 3rd power. -3 to the 3rd power should be -27. And then this right here should be -9. Whether that's an answer or not, we have to check it. So let's see. 3 times -9. And then to the 1/3 power should be equal to -3. And it is. We can see that right here. So this is not an extraneous solution. This is the actual solution for number 8. Number 9 deals with the square root, but in fraction, a power form. So just like the regular square roots, we're going to need to take this to the 2nd power and this to the 2nd power. Once we do that, we eliminate the exponential power, sorry, the fractional power, the rational power, and it turns into x plus 6 is equal to x squared. So now we're going to have to move everything to one side again. So this will look like x squared minus x minus 6. And so this factored form right here should be x, let me think, minus plus 2 minus 3. Wait a minute, you know what? I don't want to skip steps. Let me just do this. -6, -1. I have 3 times 2. And then I have, yeah, okay, I was right. So it is x plus 2, x minus 3. Which gives me 2 solutions. It gives me that, or 2 possible solutions. It gives me that x could be -2 or a +3. But we do not know yet. We have to check. So we'll do -2 plus 6. And then we'll raise that to the 1/2 power. And if this is correct, that should be equal to x, which is -2. So let's see if this gives us -2. It does not. It gives us +2. So this tells me that this -2 is extraneous. Now let's try 3. 3 plus 6. And then, yes, it's 3 plus 6 to the 1/2 power. So now that should be equal to x, which is 3. Let's see if that equals to 3. It does. So this tells me that I only have one solution, and it is x is equal to 3. And then finally, number 10 deals with the same things. But now we have to get rid of a 3/4 power, or 3/4. So if I want to do that, I want to raise everything to the 4/3. 4/3. Again, doing that gets rid of that rational exponent, and we are just left with x plus 2. And then on this side, thanks to my previous example, I know that 8 to the 4 over 3 power should be 16. And that right there is 16. All we gotta do now is solve for x by subtracting 2 here. And we get to that x is equal to a 14. And before we call that our answer, we have to check that this is a solution. So we'll do 14 plus 2. And then, yeah, 14 plus 2, we'll raise that to the 3 over 4 power. And if we did this, or if this is a solution, this should be 8. It is 8. And so this tells me that this has to be my solution.